Network is a foundation for your success. Are you a successful person, or do you need to improve your skills of communication, of speaking with strangers, of getting to know who they are and how? Can a good relationship be beneficial for you? Not to you, but for you. If you have posed such questions, we shall delve into these topics on today's video. But first of all, you have to understand the importance of networking, the importance of social relationships. I wanted to go to talk on podcasts for many years, but no one invited me. And I was alone and ashamed that no person likes me. But then I understood that my character is uber masculine, that I'm really straightforward, that I need to go and make things happen. So I started asking around from people, can you recommend a podcast for me? Can you recommend some people who are doing podcasts? And then I got a really huge list of people in my own network. Yeah, I asked it from my own social network. So networking can be on internet, it can be in real life, and it can be in a spiritual network if you believe in such things. So I asked from my social network on Facebook, and I got really many recommendations. So I started asking people out. Hey, can I come and participate in your podcast? Okay, yeah, for sure. Okay, can I buy you a dinner so we can discuss things that we are going to discuss on the show? For sure. So I started asking myself to podcasts. And sometimes they just said, yeah, our podcast is for marketing, so you pay us certain amount of money. So I was, okay, for sure. Good marketing will always bring back. That's for sure. And one of the key rules of networking, if you want to be accustomed to people and want people to know you, is showing up. You need 5 to 7 interactions with someone that they could trust you and they will know you. The same principle goes for marketing. If you're trying to sell something, if you are selling something, let's be concrete and honest, then you need at least 5 or even more interactions with the person who you are targeting. And they can be kind of short interactions, like few words exchanged now and then. It can be a call, it can be a video, like social proof. When I make videos on TikTok, some people comment that they have seen my face on Facebook. So they get accustomed with me and they realize that I'm bringing some kind of value to their lives because they are seeing me more and more. That's a primal psychology, because we are primal beings. We have this reptilian part in our brains. So we have to come and distribute ourselves in between people for them to get used of our presence. And from there, we can start making deals. We can start receiving offers and making offers. When you meet a stranger, you don't know anything about them. But imagine there's a person who you have been watching on YouTube for 8 hours, 9 hours, their videos, their lectures, and suddenly you see that person on a street. You start talking to that person like to an old friend. "Oh, hi, how are you? I was just thinking about this thing that you said," and yeah, it has happened to me many times. I just last weekend we went to an island in our country and did a workshop there. And in a venue where we were hosting the workshop, at least 3 or 4 people came to me, chatting with me like old friends, and I'm just puzzled. Like, who is that person? And then, yeah, I watched all of your courses, and it's just so inspiring. And then okay, the person knows me better than I know that person, and they trust me because I have made them confident with my presence through the video, through social networks, through internet. So they are able to share their misfortunes, their happiness, their secrets with me, because I'm like an old friend communicating with a person. That's the most important aspect of networking, of creating trust. And there's also a burden, because you must always behave to your greatest standard. You just can't be a failure, or when you're in a bad mood. What happens? You got to be honest with people, but at the same time, you have a responsibility to uplift them. When you are in a bad mood, you will lose quite soon a lot of your clients. Indeed. So, and that's another principle when you're going to check out my videos on manifestation that you can find down below. One principle of manifestation is staying true to yourself and actually programming your subconscious mind. When you feel like bad or sad or in some you feel crap, you just tell yourself, I like myself. I like myself. I'm great. I like being with myself. I like hanging out with myself. I'm a happy person. When you affirm yourself constantly, then you're able to maintain a strict routine or a strict sense of self-confidence, that you're able to always give out the best version of yourself to others. I experienced also the downfall when I was sharing my relationship problems on social media. I lost thousands of followers. In the beginning, they all were like, oh, how sad, and they were commenting, etc. But then they became disappointed in me, because I was just torn into pieces and I was sharing the most depressive parts of my journey. Most people are searching for happiness. Most people are searching for solutions, and they can't tolerate for a long time if someone is whining and miserable for a long period of time. If it happens once or twice, they can show their compassion. But if it's a pattern, people tend to leave. So always try to give out the best version of yourself. And sometimes when I feel miserable and I meet someone on the street and start chatting, and suddenly I feel uplifted. Something changed in me. But where should you network? Networking can be done in social circles. No, in events. What the I usually avoid events, but I'm so social person. I go on a street, I see someone, hey, what's up? I start communicating with them. I go to a park with my child and people start just talking to me. I go to a shop and I start chatting with the shopkeeper. How are you today? I don't know you, but tell me, how are you? And other people are in the line waiting, like, can he move on? And then I go to places like local pub or local store, people get accustomed to me, and the likeliness of having interactions increases. But okay, but work, work, work life networking. Yeah, I find people on internet and I ask them out and I go have nice time with them. Yes, and sometimes there are events, but they are not my primary focus. Because when I can sell my stuff to a stranger on the street, or find a stranger on a street who offers me a cooperation, that's much higher value than going to networking events which are awkward. I have been many of them, and some, of course, are great. Oh, let's have some champagne. Yeah, okay. So, what's up? What's your name? What you are doing? Okay. No, you don't have to be straightforward when you're communicating with a stranger, but gentle. Excuse me. What are your passions? How are you? Oh, tell me more about yourself. And presenting those questions, people feel intimidated. They feel pleasure because someone wants to know about them. Like I went to a dance party with my child just a few nights ago. Just a great party, and the DJ was having some problems. So I went, of course, I go and help the DJ because I know something about the stereo systems. And we started chatting with the DJ, and then we got some lightning balls to play around with the child, and we were like VIP guests on that event because I just used my natural charm to go and help people, to ask questions and see, is there any reason that I am actually here? Because my reason is always to help and communicate when I leave my premises, my house, and I start meeting people. But that's one mistake that people make, that they tend to go to the corner of an event and start observing people. And then they think to themselves, no one wants to talk with me. Like some shopkeepers, like they have on the market, like someone is selling, like all the people are there, and another person is just sitting there and looking. No one is coming to my stall, because it's a law of manifestation. When you affirm something to yourself, that's true. Your body starts to appear like you are thinking. No one wants to play around with me. That's the truth, because you are creating the truth. You can decide what is true for you. And of course, sometimes, yes, there are hardships. But then you start making a plan. How can I go out and attract more people to the thing that I'm doing? Take some leaflets, flyers, have this. Or I know this great guy who's the cacao master in our country. He makes raw cacao bars, and he just brings a lot of cash in when he goes on a fair. One thing, because he has got such a loyal customer base. But another thing, he starts fooling around. It's just like hyperactive bunny, jumping around, doing tricks, standing on his hands and trying to juggle with his chocolate bars, and people are just looking like, what the is going on? But he's just like, oh yeah, a smoothie, 5 euros. Oh, what can I have? I have all the superfoods in the world. He just enjoys being the clown. You don't have to be the clown. You have to find the face that you enjoy being. I don't like being in the center of attention. No, I don't like. But I like communicating with people. So I'm an observer type person. I go and observe. And then I go out to catch the fish with my observations, I get an idea or I become curious that I want to know something. And then I step out from my zone and I go catch the fish. So it all depends what kind of a person you are. Do you like to observe? Do you like to be in the middle of attention? Or do you wish to showcase something? So you decide. You become the best version of yourself when you decide to become that. And all the fear that is holding us back, or I was left out because and other people are doing great stuff. Go do your own thing. You don't have to do the same thing with other people. Only thing that you have to do is to enjoy yourself. Do things that matter, that are a little bit hard for you, that spike the adrenaline, and go enjoy yourself out in the world. And you will become a great networker, actually. And start making those mass social media posts. Start just making mass of YouTube videos, TikTok videos, whatever. Just be in the picture and people shall trust you eventually. So check out the videos for manifestation, subscribe, join the waitlist to become a great storyteller, and work one-on-one with me. Goodbye.